In this video, I'm going to give you some specific details on what it is that you need to have in your independent practice or exit ticket question in order to meet all the criteria for success. These are also some things that I noticed some of us were missing or didn't really have when we did this last time. So please make sure that you have all of these parts. Again, the point is to help you just to be a better, more involved person in the world and summarize your thinking. These are skills that will help you in the future. So the way I like to think about the point of this exit ticket is, let's say you were just in the real world in the future as an adult, high schooler, and you're trying to, be a good, active person in the world, and you are staying informed about what's going on, and you read a news article. It's essentially you are summarizing what you learned from this article as if you were talking to another person, sharing your learning with somebody else. So if it helps you to imagine that you're actually talking to somebody, or you want to practice saying what you read out loud first before you type it, that's a good skill. And so based on the previous videos where I found a news article for this week, I'm going to give you an example of how I would do this, speaking out loud. But first, there's really three major categories that you need to have in this exit ticket. First, you got to name, what was your article? Well, I read an article. What was it? It was called Governor Doesn't Know When Schools Are Going to Reopen. It was written by, I forget the name of the person right now off the top of my head, but you would cite the name of the author. And it was from Fox 31 Denver, one of our local news stations. Second, I would say what I learned. Number two, well, in this article, I learned that the governor of Colorado can't really guarantee that schools will reopen back for normal in the fall. And then I would give a specific quote where perhaps that quote there where it says, although the governor is optimistic that the schools will reopen for normal in August, they cannot guarantee that that will happen. And then I would explain that quote. This shows me that there's still a lot of uncertainty about the future of what school is going to look like, and it still really depends, which could stress a lot of people out. So I'm interpreting my quote. And third, the last part, I explain why this is important or interesting to me. So I would say something like, I think this is interesting. This important information will help us because a lot of people don't know what the future is going to look like and if they're going to be able to go back to school for sure. And this impacts me because, well, one, I'm a teacher, so that's my job. But two, this impacts a lot of people across the entire state, which directly kind of impacts our economy, how people are going to be able to do jobs, to take care of their kids at home. This impacts a lot of us. So I think this is an important part of our state. So again, three parts. So silly model, you'd be like, hey friend, I learned this cool news article. It was called Title by author from the source. And then your friend would be like, oh, cool. What did you learn in that article? And then you would be like, well, in the article, it told me that information, and quote, that shows me that, explain the quote, kind of what did you learn in your own words? And then last, yeah, and I think this is important because, this impacts this, or it was interesting. You're putting it in your own words. Why did what you learn impact, or what it is make you think personally? So make as long as you got those three parts, title, author, source. That's the first part. Why it's important to you with a quote. Second part. Third, why is it interesting or important to you what you just read? The last part. You got all those parts? Good job. Make sure you do this, ask some questions, and watch the final exit video at the end after the independent practice. Thank you.